Hi there, boys and girls. Mickey D here. You are now watching CMS TV. Stay tuned, and you're going to see more of me, maybe, or hear more of me.
Bringing the brutality all the way back from 1989 from the Beneath the Remains release. That is Sepultura with Sarcastic Existence. And that one going out by request to Chuck from North Carolina.
Well, thank you, Chuck. You made my night. I love that stuff. Holy shit.
I know you did. 1989, dude. Think about that. I mean, if you think about the aggressiveness of that album, you know, over 30 years ago, it's just like, wow, Sepultura ahead of their time.
Yeah, well, they were. And I mean, I didn't get into them until after that. That was, what was that, Beneath the Remains, I think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I got into them on the next record, on Arise. And Beneath the Remains is a great album. Don't get me wrong. I would probably like it my favorite if that's where I came in, but I came in on Arise, which is equally heavy, maybe even a little heavier in some spots.
Right.
But dude, I just remember what I remember is one, I got into them because that's this store that I talk about all the time, Metal Mania in Seaside, California, where the guy used to dog me out for being a fan of hair metal.
Right.
He used to be like, "Oh,
is that garage that you worked on your car in?"
Yeah. And he just used to tease me. He's like, "Oh, why are you buying that Poison, you queer? You know, you need to be listening to metal, real metal."
Yeah.
He was trying to get me into like Cannibal Corpse and, those types of bands. And one of the very first ones that he ever gave me that I didn't know anything about, but was super, super heavy was Sepultura Rise. And I just remember listening to it. I remember I brought it home. This was a big mistake on my part, but I brought it home instead of listening to it in my car. I listened to it at home with the ex there.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know if you've ever listened to that album, but the first song, Arise, we shall arise. Dun, 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 dun. I mean, it is like 900 miles an hour. And I just remember my ex-wife was like, "What is this shit you're bringing into my house?"
My house.
Oh, yeah, it was her house. I wasn't allowed to have a place.
Well, you didn't contribute to the bills or anything. It was her house.
No, I was serving in the military and giving all my money to the charity of her, I guess.
Sure.
But yeah, you're bringing that shit into my house.
Yeah. Well, I didn't discover Sepultura until Chaos AD.
Okay.
That's when I was
resist.
Yeah,
territory.
when I was aware of them.
Sure. Dude, great.
Resist.
Yeah, they're so good. I love them, man. And boy, one of the all-time, probably the number 2 show, if I was ranking the concerts I've been to in my life, the number 2 show. I know I always talk about Day on the Green as the number 1 by far, and it is. But number 2 was in 94, I guess, one of the last shows at Richfield, which was Pantera with Sepultura and Biohazard down at Richfield. It was one of the very last, it might have been the last metal concert that ever happened at Richfield. And it was one of the very last ones in 94. And so Pantera was touring Far Beyond Driven. Sepultura was touring probably Chaos, I think, 93, Chaos. And Biohazard was doing State of the Union address. So it was just like these 3 bands at their peak of heaviness and volatility and everything. And holy shit, you want to talk about a beatdown of a mosh pit. I don't think I can't remember a time that it's one of the few times I ever remember getting hurt in the mosh pit. Somebody just dove off the stage and landed square on top of my head. and cranked my neck down. Oh,
Maybe
and
that's what you're suffering today.
it probably is. It just took a while to catch on. It just took
Right.
30 years to accentuate,
Right.
but yeah, what a great live band Sepultura was and still is. Even with Derek Green, they're still an awesome live band and an awesome band. And
Yeah.
I say it all the time. If you're one of these dummies that says it's not Sepultura without Max, you're a dummy. You're missing out on just tremendous album after tremendous album because they have put out a lot of great music.
Yeah. So everybody should be a Sepultura fan.
Sepultura. Wasn't that the Rev?
Yes, of
Sepultura.
course.
Yeah. I love Sepultura. No, you don't. You don't even know
Sepultura.
their fucking name, you dummy.
Sepultura.
What's the name of the street in California? Because I've heard them called that. Was it
It's Sepulveda.
Sepulveda? I've heard them called that too. Yeah, I like that band, Sepulveda.
Yeah, it's Sepulveda Boulevard.
Right. And you've heard Sepultura called that as well, haven't you?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
People are just dumb. Just look at the name and sound it out the way it's spelled. But no, Sepulveda. How do you come up with that?
Well, because we're in LA, man.
Yeah, that's true. And that is the epicenter of everything.
Because it looks like Sepultura.
Yeah, it looks sort of like it. Looks like a street sign I saw once, so that must be what it is.
Right.
Too funny.
So funny.
Yeah. So
right.
Anyway. So I still have more topics unless you had something.
You know what? It's your show. You've been laid up. You've had tons of time to do research. I mean, I got a million things here, but it doesn't matter. But just go right ahead.
Well, we'll do the last hour. We'll do all your stuff. How's that? Because I have.
I got a few things that I got to pick and choose here because
That's fine.
I got weeks worth of topics here, but regardless of that, go right ahead.
Well, I just want to get through all this music stuff because it will get old. So I know you played earlier. You played the Extreme song, the new Extreme song "Rise."
I did.
And last week we played the new Metallica song "If Darkness Had a Son." And it's been
had a son. He'd look like never mind.
Yeah, stop. Speaking, I'm going to side note before I get into this topic, by the way.
Yes.
I just want to give a shout out to our good friend Jericho Green this week.
Yeah.
And I was texting back and forth with him. Did you see his show this week?
I saw some of his stuff. I watched some of his stuff today. What is it that you're referencing specifically?
He did 90 minutes with Sammy the Bull.
Yeah, no, I did see that. What did he pay for that? Do you know?
He didn't.
It was for free?
It was pitched to him.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see that.
It was awesome. I mean, bravo to Jericho Green. I was texting back and forth with him, and he's somehow, now people are hitting him with guests, and he got hit with Sammy the Bull Gravano.
Wow.
And he did it, and he did 90 minutes.
I know I did. I saw it today. I was, because I know what our thought was.
Yeah.
Because it is available to do, but I saw there was actually 2 or 3 of those out there today.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I asked Jericho, and he said that he just got pitched it. So, I'll take him at his word that he was pitched it. But
there's no reason not to believe that.
If he paid for it, he paid $1,500. We know what it would cost.
Yeah, I know. I agree. And not only his, but I saw that there were like 2 other ones out there of recent interviews. I mean, very recent, the same week.
Well, maybe Sammy's out there spreading the love a little bit to get people to his podcast or something.
Yeah, and I agree. And it's just like, holy shit. Okay, so maybe the paid people weren't coming in anymore.
Yeah.
But here's the bad thing about that. Because his popped up on my feed, and then the others popped up. I was just like, oh, how much Sammy the Bull can you hear?
I could hear more if it was me and you talking to him.
Well, yeah, but my point is that the average quote unquote podcaster out there, they're going to ask the real obvious shit.
Sure.
and it's going to get repetitive. And it was just like too much at the same time.
Right. No, I agree. I definitely agree. I just was like, I was like, holy fuck, good on Jericho getting Sammy the Bull. And then I guess the other night, I did not see this one, so I don't know if it aired or it didn't air, but he was telling me in text, he was doing that one show that he does with the other guys too,
Yeah,
like
where they
the
do the
three
movie
guys.
reviews. Yeah.
Yeah. They had Dean Cain on.
Really?
Superman.
How
Yeah.
about that?
So, and that was another one that they got pitched to have Superman on.
Okay. Is Dean Cain doing anything now?
Beats me.
Yeah.
I didn't see it, but still, he's still a pretty legit actor to be doing fucking podcasts.
Well, I agree, but I got to be honest with you. He was doing, what was that, Small Town?
Smallville.
Smallville. But how long ago was that?
That was at least 15 years ago.
That's my point. So when was the last time you heard Dean Cain doing anything?
The last thing I remember Dean Cain, see, I actually have a Dean Cain sighting for you.
All right.
The last thing I remember Dean Cain doing, and I only remember this because it's one of the surprisingly good episodes on the otherwise woke shitty Law and Order SVU.
Yes.
He did a I think it was 2-episode arc.
All right.
Where he was a guy that attempted to kill his wife, and he was just a sadistic, brutal fuck.
Well, who can't relate to that?
Well, I know, and believe me, I was relating to, because it came out sometime like near my divorce.
All right.
To where I was like, yeah, get her. I was all in on him, doing awful things to the wife, and he ended up putting the wife in a coma, but he didn't kill her. So
Okay.
then the battle raged about, since he was the sole person that was in the will or whatever, or that was allowed to make a decision on her life. He was trying to pull the plug on her living, because she was in like a brain dead coma, one of those things. And the DA was fighting him about pulling the plug on him. So they had the whole thing, and then finally he got to pull the plug. And at the end of the episode, Mariska Hargitay is like, "We're gonna get you now, you son of a bitch." And he's like, "Oh no, I'm using the money I got from pulling the plug on her from life insurance to fight this battle, to pay for my appeal or whatever."
And then she whipped out those major boobs and said, "Okay, you can have one of these."
Oh, I wouldn't mind that. Although looking at that face now would be pretty tough. But
I know, wow.
She really hit the wall.
She did, big time.
Yeah. Well, there's your answer right there. There's why Dean Cain hasn't done nothing. Dean Cain is an out conservative in Hollywood.
Oh, well, there you are.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so he can't be a lefty Hollywood hack. So he's out because he has conservative values. That's
right.
Racist cunt.
So instead of getting Variety magazine, he gets the Jericho Green show.
Right, of course.
Which, not trying to shit on Jericho, but I mean, it's just the truth.
Yeah, it's the truth.
So anyway, that's all I want to say about Jericho was, congrats to him on an hour and a half.
I didn't know how he scored that because I didn't hit him up about it. But I was just like, wow, did Jericho pony up the money to talk to this guy? And well, since you got the skinny on it, now we know.
Yeah. Now we definitely know, but now we'll talk about next time. I said this to him in text. I said, we got to talk about this next time you're on. He's like, oh yeah, no problem.
Yeah. He loves coming on our show.
He does. He's why? Because we don't fit his narrative. Not right. Not narrative. That's the wrong word, but we don't fit his normal crowd per se. Like he has a specific crowd and we're in that crowd, but we aren't that crowd.
Yeah. But it's kind of funny because, once in a while, usually on Saturday, when he's doing his live stream, I'll pop into the chat room and I'll just pop in on his little YouTube conversation thing and just say, hey, what's up, Jericho? and
Right.
2 or 3 people go, Neely, what's happening, man? You know,
Nice.
so
That's
so
good.
it's our so some of our fans are tuned in over there.
Oh yeah. I'm sure plenty of our fans discovered Jericho through us.
Right.
You know. Why does everybody want us to talk about Kiss?
What's
What
going
is
on
there?
with this?
There's nothing going on with Kiss. They announced the final dates.
What, the end of the road tour or
Yeah, the
whatever?
end of the road tour.
Well, so what?
Yeah, they announced the final dates, December 1st and 2nd.
All
Mark
right.
Striggle is going. I saw Mark Striggle bought tickets.
Yeah, you said that last week, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say we talked about it last week, but
But the thing is
what is there to talk about?
I mean, they announced, I mean, they bought the domain and have been promoting this end of the road tour for
Mhm.
what, the last 3 years.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
nothing new to see here, folks.
yeah. Hey, Tommy from the chat room with the Elvis picture. What specifically would you like us to talk about?
I mean,
Off the soundboard new
again,
album?
our skepticism says that, okay, I mean, look at Motley Crue did this is the final show. We're doing it at the Forum or wherever the fuck it is that they did it at the Staples Center in LA. And here we are 5 years later, and now they're back touring the world again.
Not only are they back touring the world, did you see Nikki Sixx said this week that they plan on touring until 2031?
For the next 8 years until they get to the 50th anniversary.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, and I'm sure there's no way to actually sue them, but there really should be a way to sue them. Like, I know for a fact, my friend, and I think you know this guy too. You know Corey Roddick, right?
Mhm.
From WMMS and
Yeah,
from what was that band he was in?
Was it
Shotgun Wedding? Yeah,
Wedding, yeah. I think I
Shotgun.
got one of their CDs on my shelf here.
Yeah, not a great band, but great guy.
They were a Poison wannabe band.
Yeah, not a great band, but a really great guy. And I love Corey. I think he's a great dude. And
Big Monkeys fan.
Big Monkeys fan. He has a Monkeys tribute band. He does. I forget what it's called, but it's like some weird name.
Yeah, sure.
Some Monkeys reference. But he literally took a vacation from MMS to fly out to Los Angeles to be at the end of the road tour.
Okay.
And he bought the expensive tickets, bought the airfare, bought hotels because he wanted to be part of the last show ever.
Okay.
Of Motley Crue, his favorite band of all time.
Sure.
And then he took it right in the ass when, like, a few years later, they announced, "Hey, fuckwad, we're going back out on tour again."
You know, they didn't say we'll never tour again. They just signed a succession agreement, which they could break, which they obviously did.
Yeah. They didn't honor. They fooled the fans. Is what they did.
Yeah, of course they did.
They knew that there was no legal precedent to it. Otherwise, they wouldn't have signed it.
Succession from touring, man. Yeah. Unless, of course, we all agree to say, yeah, throw that shit in the trash.
Yeah, and now they aren't even honoring that, because I think part of that was that it would only be the 4 original guys.
Well, it was the 4 original guys.
Yeah, but now it's not.
Not anymore, but
now they're still going.
Coming out of retirement, it was the 4 original guys.
Oh, so that voids that agreement?
It does.
Okay.
It does, because they did a whole season of touring with all 4 original guys.
Right. All right. Tommy is saying off the soundboard new album. I don't know what that is. It's another. I'll be honest, Tommy. I'll look it up. If you want to email, request it to classicmetalshow.com with a link or something to it. I'll give it a listen during the week, and I haven't heard it. Honestly, I don't like Kiss, so Kiss having a new record, that would not lead me to go, oh shit, I gotta click that.
I'm gonna get that.
Yeah, I have not heard it, bro. I'm not trying to shit on you.
I'm gonna be a blabbermouth poster. First day buyer.
Yeah.
First day buyer.
Well, here you go. Last Kiss show in the pit tickets, $8,000 with no meet and greet.
Well worth it.
It's the last show ever.
I told you about some financial stuff today. I got that in my pocket right now.
Yeah, you're gonna waste it on Kiss?
Yes, I'm buying one right now.
Well, buy two and take Mark Strickle with you.
No, I'm going to take Taylor. Me and Taylor, $16,000, first class tickets all the way out to LA. We're doing it.
That girl better lick your balls till your fucking asshole comes.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
For $16,000, it better be good.
Especially when I was standing shoulder to shoulder with Paul Stanley on the Kiss cruise back in October.
Yeah, speaking of guys that might lick assholes, allegedly.
But my point is I'm standing shoulder to shoulder with Paul Stanley on the Kiss cruise. Am I going to pay $8,000 to see him put his face paint on and dance around in the Staples Center or wherever the hell it is?
Yes, it's at Madison Square Garden where it all began.
All right, whatever.
Yeah, who gives a shit? Hey, if you're a Kiss fan and you're going like Mark Strickle, good for you.
Yeah.
Enjoy the show.
It was just kind of funny because, being on a ship, it's not like you can go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And so there I am side stage, and Paul Stanley is just kind of standing there right next to me, and Don introduced me, and I'm just like, hey, Paul, what's up? And it's like, all right, here's Paul Stanley.
Now, wait a minute. It wasn't the greatest moment of your entire life?
It was not, but it was so surreal because here we are 50 years in of knowing of Kiss.
Sure.
And I'm just standing here and, hey, there's Paul Stanley. Hey, what's up, Paul? Hey, man, how's it going? Good to meet you. All right, cool. And it's like, all right. I will never wash this hand again.
Dude. Do you remember how mad the Kiss fans were when we did that fake interview with Paul Stanley?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had all that recorded shit where I was asking questions and it was all the canned, answers. And I was just like, I'm looking out the window and Paul is pulling up in his limousine right now.
We had at the time, like a big audience for us was like 50 people or something. And we had like 150 people listening at the time.
Yeah.
And I just remember that people were...
No, say it right.
The people were excited beyond belief that Paul was going to be on our show.
Yeah, he was here in the studio.
Yeah. And what it was that I had... From MMS, they had sent out this canned interview of just
you were
answers.
supposed to ask these questions and then play Paul's answers, and it sounded like you were talking to him.
Yeah, and they gave you the script so that here's the questions you ask, and we were supposed to record those, but we asked them like ridiculous questions. We were
like bowling ball questions. Have you ever been bowling or something like that?
And then we got into like weird sex questions, and he was answering, with "thank you, man."
Right, of course.
What do you say to Ace after he let you lick his balls? Thank you, man. And everybody was like, "Fuck you guys! You guys are dicks."
And we said, "Yes, we are."
We did. We absolutely did say, "Yes, we are." But that was a funny segment.
It's like, dude, is Paul there yet? I keep looking out the studio window. Wait a minute. I see a car pull. Oh, it's Paul. Paul's pulling up. He's in a limo. Hang on. Right. All right, I got to run down and open up the front door. Just hang on there. And then you'd fill. And I go, yeah, I'm running down to meet up with Paul. He's coming into the studio.
Right. People didn't put A to B together that Paul doesn't regularly go to someone's house to do an interview.
Well, see, that's the whole thing. A lot of people didn't realize that we do this from the house, because you remember how many times we got emails and stuff from people about, I'm gonna send a message to your manager or your manager, and I'm gonna complain. I'm gonna get you pulled off the air and all this other stuff, because they didn't realize that we just ran the whole shebang.
Yeah, I do remember. It's too funny. Oh, those are good times, man. I love those.
Sending a message to your station manager.
That shit was always hilarious.
I know. It's just like, because people were so ingrained with the whole commercial radio thing.
Yeah.
That they thought we were somehow on some kind of commercial outlet.
Right. Do you still have that segment somewhere? You probably do, right?
I do. I couldn't put my hands on it right now, but I'm
Well, no,
sure
I don't mean right
have
now, but
I have it all. I just, I would have to go back through the archives and look for it.
yeah. If you could look that one up and send it over to me at some point during the week, I'll put it out because I'm sure that's before we were even on YouTube.
Oh
So,
yeah. Oh yeah. This was way back in 2000 and boy.
6 or 5 or
It had to
even
have been
earlier.
because after you joined the show, you joined the
Yeah.
show in 05.
Yeah, so it's like
So I
06,
think I
07.
think it was during his solo tour.
May
Remember
have
when
been.
he did the
Yeah.
whole solo tour?
Hmm. Yeah, I don't remember. I just remember it was one of those all-time segments. To me, that one ranks up there with like Laser Wolves and stuff.
Yeah, it was a bizarre. Here, I think. Wait a minute. Let me
Do you
see.
have the disc?
No, I think I actually have the ticket that they actually sent me
Oh,
to go see him.
okay. Oh, Jesus.
Let's see here. No, that's not it. I thought I had a ticket here from he was coming to the House of Blues here in Chicago, and
Okay.
they were able to give me one whole ticket, not
Oh,
a
thanks.
ticket plus one,
Yeah.
but one whole ticket.
You know what a single ticket means to me? Not going.
And I
That's
didn't go.
Yeah, of course not. Who wants to go by themselves?
Yeah, they sent one whole ticket.
Yeah, who wants to go by themselves? That sucks.
I think I might actually have it here. Let's see if I can find it. But yeah, they sent me one whole ticket, and it was just like, well, where's my plus one? And it's oh well, we could only afford to give you a ticket.
Yeah, because Paul Stanley can't afford a second ticket for somebody giving him press.
Right.
Sure.
So I was just like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, keep your fucking ticket. Why don't you give 2 to the next guy? Mine and his.
Yeah, I didn't end up going because I was just like, well, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, 1 ticket. Get the fuck out of here with that. Yeah, I like that, and then I also like when they give you shit tickets. When you if you ask for 2 and they're like, well, we can't guarantee, can't guarantee, what do they call that, press row. Like I don't know if you've ever experienced that, but I'll always say, look, and I'll say, look, I can only go if I get 2 tickets, and they'll go, well, I can get you 2 tickets, but I can't get you press row, and then I really make the decision: do I want to go? Do I want to go and sit in fucking section 599 behind a pole so that I can look around the pole to see the fucking show? No, I don't.
It's just awful, man.
I know they act like it, and meanwhile they get as many tickets as they fucking want.
What was the name of Paul's solo thing? Win to live?
Live to win.
Live to win, yeah.
Yeah, live to win. Not necessarily. Not it has an okay record. It wasn't bad.
I know it sounded like Paul Stanley.
John Phillips says the House of Blues wouldn't let anyone with Kiss makeup into the show. Wow, really?
What, that Live to Win show?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe Paul was thinking about quitting Kiss at the time.
Who knows?
Should have gone with that thought.
Yeah, but again, I mean, if you want to spend a shit ton of money and go to the final Kiss show, God bless you.
Yeah, hey, have at it. I'm not shitting on anybody that wants to go. Go ahead, enjoy it. Just don't think that it's like amazing. I'm sure it's gonna be the same show you've been seeing. Maybe 1 or 2 select songs that are different, but for the very most part, I'm sure it's just gonna be the same old, Strutter, God of Thunder, Detroit Rock City, rock and roll all night, party every day.
Right.
I'm sure it's gonna be the same set they've been doing. It costs money to re-record stuff on those backing tracks. I mean, to play those songs.
Nice. You're just hateful. Why are you so hateful?
Well, I'm not as hateful as I used to be. Got to give me that much. I'm not as hateful as I once was.
Yeah, you're certainly not angry Aiken like you used to be.
No, not at all.